for a second and let it out slowly. And do that again. And that's it, and let it out. Now go ahead and open your eyes and think about this for a second. Does that feel like a lot different than how you might normally, I mean, other than obviously I'm asking you to take a deep breath, but there's something about that when we breathe deeply, it brings oxygen in, it takes carbon dioxide out. You know how that works from your classes and what have you. It seems to kind of take the stress right on out too. It can do that. So sometimes, you know, what happens is if we pay attention to our breathing, and we start feeling this anxiousness and these short breaths coming like this because we're getting ready to do whatever we got to do, you know, as we have anxiety and fear. You take the time. I feel this coming. I need to remember to breathe. Take it in and let it out. You know, the idea of relaxing. Okay. So this here, this handout here, is about observing your breath. And I'll send this with you, and I would like for you to try this week if you think that might be something that we could agree on, because this is kind of like a nice thing to do. I don't know if you felt that when we tried that short exercise. I know because we only did a few deep breaths, but
Slightly helpful.
do you think that it felt kind of like refreshing to take a deep breath and relax?
When we first started doing it, I noticed my breathing was getting faster. I was getting nervous, and so
Okay.
I think the deep breaths
So-
helped to calm that.
Oh, good. So anyway, we'll read it together. See, observing your breath, deep breathing, these ideas. And, you know, if you practice it, you'll just get more proficient at it. And they're suggesting like 10 breaths.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you have a quiet place, you know, where you can kind of sit, where you maybe, you know, meditate or you do other things like that. I don't know. I know you're with a roommate. So if you have time, you can do this, maybe just have a very peaceful setting. Or even when you're walking, you mentioned that you like to walk. If you can find a deserted trail, okay. Measuring your breath by your footsteps. What's the first time when I read that, I thought, well, that sounds kind of odd. But, you know, it says walk slowly in a yard, along a sidewalk, or on a path in a hallway. Breathe normally. Determine the length of your breath. The exhalation and the inhalation by the number of your footsteps. It's just a mindfulness thing. It's like, how does my body react when I'm doing things? It's bringing it out alongside. Counting your breaths, and so on and so forth. But breathing, this is the good part here, breathing to quiet the mind and the body. And this is, you have to understand, that part of this is from Eastern philosophy. Okay, so it says, sit cross-legged on the floor in a lotus, half lotus position. I mean, or you could sit in a chair, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Half smile. What does that mean? What do you picture when you hear someone say half smile?
I don't know, I guess just not a full grin, but
Not big old teeth.
just closed mouth, maybe
Yeah,
slight smile.
not a displeased feeling, but more of a happy content. Maybe. I don't know. Be aware that I am breathing in and making the breath and body light and peaceful. I'm exhaling and making the body light and peaceful. And it goes through this. Now it sounds kind of corny, okay, I know. But you want to try that?
I can try that,
Yeah, maybe see if that helps you to relax and kind of develop that so that when you do feel anxious when things are coming on, when you're thinking about things, that at least it's a tool we can try. And then we'll, you know, I want you to kind of self-monitor a little bit and let me know how that works for you. So that's one thing we could try. It works pretty well. May help you out a little bit. There are a couple other things that we can talk about. Distractions and stuff. When you start feeling kind of icky, getting that anxious feeling, you can't always distract. But if the feeling is staying with you, you could try some different things. I'm not sure what you like to do other than walk. I think we talked about that, but something like that can be good. Is there anything else you just, I think you said you enjoyed something, I think it was it knitting?
Knitting and reading.
Reading, okay. So, that can be very, can take you away from that too. I know you can't always do that, because if you're sitting in a class and someone says you're going to do an assignment, you can't start knitting. I know that won't work, but you can do some breathing. And then get through the situation, and then maybe you can distract for a while, and then you can come back and address it again.
Okay.
Let me ask you, well, first of all, let's kind of put it out to you this way. One of the really important things about keeping regulated and feeling happy is taking care of yourself too. So there's a method here. I have another handout for you. And this has a whole lot of stuff on it, but I wanted to point this out here. And it's called PLEASE. And it's an acronym that uses some of these things in here. Take care of physical illness. So I hope you're doing that, taking care of any physical things that come up. Make sure you're eating a balanced diet. Sometimes, if we get anxious or depressed or anything like that, you may find our eating habits go off, really. You don't feel like it, our tummy hurts, things like this. Avoid alcohol and mood-altering drugs, and we've already talked about that. You said that, you found that wasn't really anything you were too interested in. Balanced sleeping. How are you sleeping?
It's pretty inconsistent. I think if there's something that's coming up that I'm anxious about,
okay.
I just can't sleep. I lay there all night worrying about it.
Oh, yeah. I can.
Sometimes I have to come back to my dorm late at night once my roommate's asleep or all her friends have left. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She likes to have a crowd in, and they get boisterous. Yes. Balanced exercise. And I know you've been having a bit of trouble getting out, but is there anything you can do to get a little bit of exercise, maybe once or twice a week even?
I guess I could try to go on a walk.
Okay.
Maybe.
That would be nice. Where would you go walking right now? I mean, considering I know, the dorm, you said you didn't like to get out alone, where there were a lot of people. Do you have some places you like to go that are peaceful and quiet?
I think I can probably find some trails where there's not a whole lot of people that might be okay.
Okay. All right. So we talked about where you're kind of like right now. You're kind of at an 8 on the scale of anxiety and the way we're viewing it. So if you think about the idea that some anxiety is helpful, can help you because you've got a test coming up or something, it can actually help you in your performance. Some performance help there. Certainly it's there to help you as a protective measure for fight and flight if you need it. So considering we probably don't want to get rid of anxiety completely out of your life forever and ever, amen, where would you like to be? How do you see yourself if I had the magic wand here? Where's my magic wand? Oh, yeah, well, we'll just have to pretend and ding, and all of a sudden Lilly is better. Where is Lilly now? Where would you be?
I want to be able to go to class and be able to do all my schoolwork and not be failing my classes because I'm so anxious about it. And I guess experience some anxiety before a test or presentation, but I don't want it to be crippling me anymore, to the point that I can't do those things.
Yeah, it seems like it's overwhelming right
Yeah,
now.
I can't do those things because it's too much.
So if you were gonna put a number where you think you'd like to go,
I guess maybe a 5.
maybe a 5 or so? That sounds like a great goal. So what would you be willing to tolerate right now if we were gonna work at this? Because it's gonna come in bits and pieces, maybe slowly, if we meet over time. So would just a decrease in anxiety at all be a good thing? A good start?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good start.
Okay. So if you were gonna put a minimum on what you were able to do, as far as kind of re-entering the whole social thing, what would be the minimum right now?
I don't know, everything feels so overwhelming right now.
Sure, okay. Well, maybe you could think about that. And the reason I ask is like, maybe we can make a big goal, but let's start with some small goals. I know you would like to get where you're just completely able to jump back in the class, participate, do the whole thing. Let's make a plan to go there. Let's try a couple of these exercises during the week and to see if it changes anything for you. And if we can make steps to progress, we'll take another step and another step. So we'll try the breathing, and I want you to make sure you're doing these things here. And I think those are 2 great things to start with. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and work on your breathing a bit. Maybe get out and do the walking, because that not only will have the effect of distraction, but it also produces endorphins in your body that will calm you. Okay, which is going to be really helpful for you. Also, if you're getting a little exercise, you may find that if you can get out for a little exercise every day, that it may help you to sleep as well. Okay, and of course, being aware of the body, having all the things going on. With anxiety, you might want to watch caffeine intake, nicotine, anything like that that's a stimulant. So we didn't even talk about that yet. So I guess, that's something for you to think about. Maybe we can address that a little more next week. I don't know if you're a coffee or tea drinker or not. I didn't really ask.
I drink quite a bit of coffee.
Do you?
Just because I can't sleep, and then I just need it to stay awake throughout the day.
Okay. Maybe we could try something like, I know you have to study, do things, and stay up for a while, but maybe pick a time of day. Caffeine has about a 6-hour half-life, so if you have a target time you would like to go to sleep, maybe 5 or 6 hours before they're kind of cut off a little bit. Try something else. Try the dreaded decaffeinated or something. I don't know, but so if we work on this thing of finding our mindfulness, and I actually forgot one, there's a kind of a wisdom, a wise mind too. I think what happens is over time you can learn that here's the situation, here's what's getting you wound up on the emotional side, here's the reality, here's kind of the, I know it's not bad, things aren't happening, and so somewhere there's reason in the middle, but over time the mind can learn and become wise so it doesn't react every time to knowing that the stimulus is there. In this case, it's, being with people. So, well, these are a couple things we can try, and we can work it down. And I'll send these worksheets home with you for you to look at, and maybe you can get some more ideas from there. And I'll have them here as well. There's some good stuff on here. But if we try to do everything at once, of course, we don't get to learn and practice well. So, yeah, when you're doing your breathing, I don't know, do you meditate or pray or anything
No,
along
I
those
don't do
lines?
anything like that,
Nothing
no.
really? Okay. Let's just consider your breathing time, a quiet time, maybe away from the roommate or in a quiet place.
Okay.
And if you do begin to think on things, we could kind of throw one more thing in on it. So, when you've been put into kind of the pressure situations where you're thinking you're going to have stuff you have to do, you talked about the idea of, I worry about failing, or I worry about what they might think. And, you know, would you say those are positive thoughts or negative thoughts?
I guess probably they're pretty negative. I just
A little
don't-
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to kind of like put that into more of a positive thought, how would you change that, kind of address the opposite? What's the opposite of that? That I'm going to fail. I know I'm going to fail. What's the
I
opposite?
guess
What
the
is-
opposite is I would succeed.
You will
but
succeed. You will.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe
right
that?
now.
Okay. Have you had successes in the past, though?
I guess I've had some, but
Well,
I don't know,
tell me about
it's-
one. Just tell me quickly, because I know we're running out of time. If you can tell me about one success you've had.
I guess last year had this huge final exam that I was really
Yeah.
stressed out about.
Okay.
And I was just studying for days and days and days, and
Uh-huh.
it was really stressful, and I ended up getting an A on the test.
Outstanding. We'll see. You can be successful. So sometimes if you take a negative thought and instead go, no, I'll remove the negative thought, I'll put a positive thought in. So that's how we view ourselves, so, you know, self-talk. So if you think about self-talk,
Okay.
this idea of, oh, I have to face this. This is scary. Maybe self-talk, you can start looking at it and thinking, no, I've had a success in this before. If it's a people thing, oh, they'll think poorly of me. No. You know, my friends, my family, they were supportive. Oh, everybody's looking at me. Maybe not. Maybe they're more worried about themselves. And you could think, well, they're not really looking at me, they're just here with me. But you know, you can maybe reframe some stuff a little bit.